Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games and welcome back to part 3 of my Malenyevist campaign here in Suzerain. So, let's get started. First off, we have a public opinion report here. Reforms propaganda from Franz Richter has led to a massive increase in the demands for democratic reforms. It's estimated 55% of the population supports the reformist ideas. Okay, that's fine. That's good for me. Okay, let's do briefing on the current economic situation. I think we need to get this figured out sooner rather than later. Okay, so we've got Seaman Hull, who is our Minister of the Economy, Commerce, and Energy. Gus Menger, who is officially our Minister of Agriculture and the Rural Department, but he seems to just mostly hook me up with investment opportunities more than anything. And then we got Lilias Graf here, who is our Minister of the Interior, I believe. Yeah, I think it's, let me double check that. Economic booms. Yeah, it's right at the top. Current Minister of Interior. Yeah. Okay, so they're coming in. Let's see. So they're arguing about where we should invest. Gus Menger is saying, aka Cyril Figgis from Archer, is saying that Greater Holsword and Gessland are going through under unemployment crises, and Lilias says it needs to be Angland. Anyway, this is new. They didn't before used to actually have the map on there. That's very convenient. All right. Good morning, everyone. All right. Well motivated, Mr. Rain. It seems our ministers are feeling the same. How's it going, Gus and Lilias? It's looking good, sir, though there seems to be a lot of work that requires attention. I'm feeling fairly confident about the current state of affairs. Okay. Alright. So, let's take a look at the economic situation here. Alright. So, the assistant's left. He's carrying documentation. He's looking for his slides. We're waiting. Okay, Simon, what happened to the new police station construction in Estord? It got stalled due to a government property boundary issue. I've been meaning to look at it. Okay. Alright, come on, Simon. Get your shit together. Find your files. Okay, the Sordish Ren, our currency, is losing value. So, right now we are dealing with the effects of the recession of 1951. The recession was triggered by a fast-paced privatization plan that disrupted the economy and caused hyperinflation. President Ewald Afonso, who, there we go, he's got a picture nowadays, was widely blamed for the aggressive economic reform policies that put the country upside down. However, many obstructions in key government institutions seem to indicate that there was more at fault within the state than it is known. Okay, so let's talk about the current economic situation. What about unemployment and inflation? Unemployment skyrocketed. It's at 16%. Inflation's at 7%. Unemployment's increasing crime and drug use. We need to get people off the streets. The inflation isn't helping average citizens. Okay, what's the status of the recession? The economy had a recession of about 6% in the past year. Average GDP dropped from Sorish Ren 15,454 per capita to 10,359 from 51 to now. We need to stop the recession. Okay, what's our GDP situation? Current GDP is 310 billion Sordish Ren. National debt is 427 billion. It's all hard to believe we lost nearly 150 billion in wealth. The past 3 years were tough. Okay, let's talk about our economic strategy. So, high inflation, high unemployment, big debt. We got to figure some things out. Privatization of Alfonso left us a budget surplus we could use to stabilize the crisis. Primary subject we need to settle on is what general path we take. In our terms, Solonomics-based nationalism happened in the 30s, and Alfonso's privatization began at the end of the 40s. What will our administration focus on? One of our main promises was to promote a planned economy to stop the recession. To be frank, I still don't think this was a good idea. We shouldn't go back to solo economics. It's the reason of the recession. Self-sufficiency will help us in tough times. You know what? What are the downsides of the planned economy? It's clear most of the state corporations and other government-controlled systems are less efficient. Structural problems are going to lead to a recession, according to predictions at a time anyway. Either way, even if we pick one of the doctrines, we retain the option to make economic choices on a case-by-case basis. Okay. So Lilius, so basically, Lilius is, what Simon Hole here is telling us is that we could choose to mix and match the privatization and nationalization thing, which we can do later. We could do percentages of that. But Lilius wants us to go in on one thing hard, and so does Gus. Lilius does not want us to align with the superpowers. Economically speaking, we aren't as tied to United Contana as we are to Arcasia, so a decision to align to the east is much more difficult to accomplish. There's schemes. Let's see here. Lilius says, I want you to reconsider your promise to align with United Contana. I guess I should actually probably read what United Contana is. So this is basically the Soviet Union. United Contana is a federalist socialist republic situated on the continent of Contana and considered as a superpower of the world. It is a union of multiple socialist republics spanning Contana. The government is a one-party state governed by the Communist Party with Kyiv as its capital. It is led by Chairman Leon Malenyevist, whose ideology we will attempt to imitate. United Contana had its roots in the 1907 revolution, when the revolutionaries of the Vrodsky, led by Leon Malenyevist, overthrew the Kontanan government, which had replaced the autocratic regime of the king during the century of revolutions. In 1910, after a civil war ending in the Vrodsky's victory, United Contana was formed by treaty which united the Kontanian, Transcontanian, Kyovian, and Belayokontan republics of the Kontan Republic. Of the continent, excuse me. Malenyevist replaced the market economy with a command economy, which led to a period of rapid industrialization and collectivization in United Contana. During this period, rapid economic development resulted in dramatic improvements in the average standard of living, particularly in urban areas. The country saw major reforms under the ideology of Malenyvism. It promoted the idea of the permanent revolution abroad and supported social revolutions in nearby states with early-stage capitalism. United Contana grew their influence around the world with Malenyevist ideas and rose to become a superpower of the world. United Contana is currently locked in a fierce global ideological battle with Arcasia, both powers in a race of influence around the globe. United Contana has been growing their influence around the world by supporting less fortunate nations with their problems, supporting revolutions and unions abroad. They've already influenced several revolutions to occur, which led to the founding of new Malenyevist nations. The nation has a very strong economy and an average civil rights record with few political freedoms. Thanks to the education reforms and heavy promotions of sciences, they experienced a technological golden age and currently are considered to be ahead of their rivals in the world. The continent is very resource-rich, and United Contana uses this as a means to spread their influence around the globe. It tends to export natural resources more than any nation in the world, and in exchange sets up military bases in strategic countries. It is the founding member of the Kontanan Security Pact, which was created against the growing threat of Arcasian capitalism and neo-imperialism. It is also a permanent member of the Alliance of Nations. And, we'll read about the chairman later, so that's who they are. There was a revolution that was started by United Contana, a permanent revolution, and Swordland must be part of it. Ooh, really go in on it, huh? What do we think? I think we do want to do that. Although, do I want to really go that hard? Some of this stuff I think is just dialogue, really. And I'm pretty sure that these people are not going to like me very much. I have heard that depending on different paths that you can go, you have members of your cabinet who end up resigning. Only one resigned, and I'm pretty sure it was a scripted thing in my first campaign. But I'm sure if we start going to the left, we're going to lose Simon, and we'll probably also lose Lilius. And as for Gus, I don't know what's up with Gus. But we're going to say there was a revolution that was started by United Contana, a permanent revolution, and Swordland must be part of it. We will see how long it will last. When the time comes, I hope you make the right decision for your own good. Okay, Visky is going to be in charge of foreign stuff. We need to figure out internal economics. Yeah, that's right. This is the economic meeting. Okay. So what we want to do here is, in terms of the economy, well, we're going to be wanting to go planned, even though it's supposed to be difficult. Let's see. Would a planned economy focus bring us stronger allies? Okay. It would make United Continent diplomatically look at our country in a more positive light. Okay, what's the long-term economic schedule? Picking a construction company, trade relations, tax reform, and welfare privatization or nationalism initiatives would be some of them. Gus Manger is for free market. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to lose all three of these. Although Lilius, actually no, Lilius is kind of in favor of a planned economy because she's a soulist. And Sol did the planned economy. But I'm pretty sure we're going to break with her later on other stuff. On the other hand, I'm probably going to set up some secret police, I'm thinking. Let's have some fun with that. We'll see. We'll see how she feels. The planned economy was the reason for the boom. Precisely the reason why we should stick to the old system. State planning and regulation both showed great success in the 30s. Only for a limited time, until even Tarquin Sol himself discovered the limits of the system. The slowdown began during his rule, remember? Alright, final thoughts. Critical institutions must remain in state control. We must be fully responsible in delivering services. Few could be, and it won't be negative, but either way, you make the choices. So, what will our general economic plan promote? Yeah, a planned economy as we promised. Okay. I'm not sure if we made the right decision here. Alright. We need to talk about infrastructure. Okay. Well, so the first time I did this, I invested in the railway, but I want to look into maybe doing the highway. Alright, economy change. We are promoting a planned economy and advising businesses to shift toward this goal. Okay. Decision was made to promote a planned economy. Got it. What's going on over here? Invest in mega infrastructure. Yes, this is what I wanted to get done today. The Ministry of Economy has put forward 2 bold plans for mega infrastructure projects that would help the economic recession in the long term. Investing in projects of this scale will take up some portion of our budget, but could prove worthwhile if accomplished successfully. So I'm pretty sure that this is not something we really have to worry about. And in the sense that, like, I think we should always invest in the project. It's going to take away some of the government, budget, but it's like there's too many. Yeah, there's sometimes struggles, like strikes could happen or whatever, but it just seems like there's too much good stuff that could happen that there's no reason to not do it. Does that make sense? Hope it makes sense. All right, so we are going to I guess we're gonna invest in a mega infrastructure project. Question is, which one? Like, should I try to do a better job on the railway this time, or what? All right. So, are we going to pick which is going to be? Discussion of the potential infrastructure projects. Yes, let's go right into it. So, we're at the Blue Mansion now. Same 3 people. Okay, Mr. President, we need to focus on boosting the economy as quickly as possible. One of the fastest ways to achieve this is through infrastructure projects. Excuse me. What can we focus on? On the one hand, businessmen are complaining about the slow logistical rail network between Holsord and Lochhaven. On the other hand, citizens are criticizing the lack of a proper highway connection between Lochhaven and Arvery. The narrow roads by the seaside are not only dangerous, but also difficult to traverse. Well, you know what? We did the railway the first time. Let's do the highway, because, like, I think the highway is supposed to be better if you're going to war. Or is it the railway that's better? You know what? I think that also depends. The war is so complicated now, and as I said, I think in part 1, I've looked at different guides, and some of the guides contradict other guides, so it ultimately is not very useful, but I've heard, like, if you're going to do Lesbia as your ally, you want to do the railway so that that they can carry their troops to the front line faster, because they're on the opposite end of the country from Rumburg. Well, I think let's go, this is talking about businessmen versus citizens. We're going Malenyevist. So it is the citizens and their demands that matter the most. It probably doesn't matter a ton, really, in terms of the economy. I'm sure that either one I invest in is going to help me. Because, if one of them didn't help you, I'm sure every guide would be saying, don't do this one's stupid, or whatever. So I'm sure they're both good. The demands are just. The dire situation of the road infrastructure between Lochhaven and Arvery can't be neglected. The return in investment will be low. Our concern should be economic growth. It's not the business people that suffer, but the ordinary folk. What really matters, though, is that we can accomplish something tangible in your first economic act. We must improve the economy of this nation and bring it out of a recession. Therefore, I define 2 important projects for your attention. The H3 Highway Project and the L1 High-Speed Railway Project. Mr. Hull repositioned himself on the chair to take a more comfortable posture. The ministry can only support one project at a time with the current capacity and budget. Let's move on to the details of each. So, which one do you want to hear about first? Let's hear about the highway project. Yeah, let's maybe review them both, and then I'll make my choice. So, this wants to help Angland. It's home to several million Agno-Sordish and Sordish who feel neglected. The mayor of Arvery has been asking for a bigger budget to develop the regional infrastructure. Even trucks are having trouble traveling. Okay. That must be cumbersome for the citizens. Let's look at the map. Looking at the map. Okay. Pointing at Lochhaven. The H3 highway route starts at here and links to Lenkberg. From there it goes all the way to Arvery. So it doesn't go to our neighboring country? Interesting. Not a huge deal breaker or anything, but that probably would be good if I wanted to try to get an alliance with them. Wait, I'm still thinking in reformist Democrat terms. We're going to be aligning with Volksland, probably. As a result, the road network toward the Agnolian capital, Stahlport. Yeah. Hold on here. Yeah, so Agnolia is here. Yeah, Agnolia is here, and then Angland. I guess it's because it's this is the mixed area, but we're probably not going to get Agnolia because there's going to be fighting over the Hedgeland Island. Maybe not literal fighting, but at least diplomatic fighting. And I'm sure that they won't. If we get Volksland, there's no way we get Agnolia. I'm pretty sure you got to get one or the other. You can't get both. Okay, she paused and leaned forward. We still might try to get a trade deal with them, though. I saw the central government continually neglected the Agno-Sorgis-dominated regions when I was mayor. Is this administration going to continue that kind of negligence? We will make the citizens be as respected as swords. I am all for Sordish citizens without separation or preference. Therefore, we should think about the country overall. Because Major's like, I care too much about money to be racist. The highway could be less beneficial in the near term. Lilius disagrees. It could increase transportation throughout the region. If we enter trade talks with Agnolia, they would see the investment as a positive sign. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can't get an alliance with Agnolia this run, but a trade deal could still be good. But let's hear the other project. Okay, so Alfonso wanted to do this railway, but he couldn't. Our trains are out of step. News about the new electric trains in United Contana has piqued the business interest. They too want to transport resources and materials from Holsword to Lochhaven with great speed and efficiency. I don't remember that part. Yeah, even the businessmen are like, look, they're communists, but the trains, if you see them, oh, Bobby, they're great. I'm not convinced yet, though. Explain further. We upgrade the line. So this would go from Whole Sword. It'll go to the capital, and then it goes to Anrika, and then to Gelsword, and finally Lakaven. So Lakaven's going to win either way, I think. Investments in already developed regions make little sense. Businessmen will like the increased investment and employment. So Simon Hole is recommending the rail project. I've made my decision. My final choice will be, I have decided on the H3 highway project to improve the infrastructure in our poorer regions. Thank God, I knew you would see reason. The negotiations will begin in the middle of the year. You will be able to award the contract to a corporation of your choice. The entire construction will finish in 2 years if every step going forward is executed successfully. Thank you all for your contribution and thoughts. Cool. All right. So we're doing the infrastructure. We got a lot of news here, though. What's going on? Committee for Reforms. Yeah. Economic meeting. Freezing temperatures have been recorded. Schools are closed in South Bergia. Okay. Nationalist violence. A man in his 20s has been beaten with baseball bats in a paramilitary-style attack. Okay. He was approaching during the walk. He was suspected of being regulars. Yeah, so he got beat up by right-wing extremists. The Economist says Armandine Industries is pioneering electronics. The president of Arcasia, Dwight Rocker, praised the bright minds of Arcasian engineers following the announcement, called for further technological advancement for the military-industrial complex. Yeah, this is the head of Arcasia. What's this? What's in the journal? Okay, Rumberg is coming south. That's the first we've heard of that. All right, and so there we go. We lost the budget. We're down to 2 budget. What else is going on in the world? There's increased homelessness in Dire. Bloodish minority of the region now account for up to 47% of all the homeless people there. Ooh, they're having a bad time. Promising agricultural growth in Sarna because of the drop in temperatures and new farming practices. Potential to become a powerhouse. Well, that's good. Anyway, let's see what else is here. Meeting on media strategy. Okay, this should be interesting. Okay, so Coronti contacted me. The Corontis had always been known as one of the richest and most influential families in Swordland. Coronti was no exception. Okay. He was the oldest son of Konrath Coronti, the industrialist and media mogul who founded HOS, the richest man in the entirety of Swordland. Okay. He has offered to meet with you, Mr. President. Why should I meet with him? After the passing of his father, may he rest in peace, Marcel aims to be the next CEO of the HOS conglomerate. He mentioned a productive collaboration. So the HOS, to review, because there's a lot of different businesses here. The Heart of Swordland conglomerate is a multi-industry corporation worth tens of billions. It's part of the Big Four, the 4 largest companies in Swordland. They are involved in many industries, but only have a monopoly in the media industry through the ownership of Swordland Today and the Swordish Broadcasting Corporation. Swordish citizens employed by HOS enjoy many benefits, huge salary bonuses, free private healthcare, free housing. In the last decade, a leadership question has engulfed the organization, which slowed down its revenue. Recently, the eldest son of Konrath, Marcel Coronti, has been the rising star of the conglomerate and the potential candidate for CEO. Marshal Coronti, very important character, is the son of the media proprietor. He owns the largest advertising agency. He's in media, energy, construction, trade, tourism. He's the chairman of the resorts with 12 destinations in 8 countries. He has a bachelor's degree in business and a master's degree in media and communications, which he got in Arcasia. He joined the SBC, which is like our version of the BBC, as vice president in charge of advertising. Then he was transferred to the hotel. That's where he turned it into a huge chain. He left the resorts and he started operating the advertising company within the HOS Media Group of the HOS conglomerate. Okay. Yeah, Lucian says we should try to have them on our side. What does this productive collaboration entail? expect a call. There's substantial power over media outlets, hard headlines, radio shows. That's what he would be offering. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we need to figure out our general approach to the media. There's two ways we can approach the media. One of them is by influencing it, which has clear advantages. The other one is keeping it independent. What do we want to do with the media? I wonder. Media must be independent, or we should say it's a tool to be used. Tool doesn't mean that we own the media. We'll say it's a tool to be used. I agree. Oh, if Lucian says it's right, you know it's right. Media plays a huge role in adapting public opinion toward our... Did OBS just crash? Okay, no, we're good. Okay, my monitor went out for a second that OBS was on. Okay. While helping us avoid damage from scandals or mistakes. While I do acknowledge that this set will sound a bit harsh, I certainly believe that our perspective, knowledge, and experience allows us to have a superior judgment compared to the average sort of citizen. I share your opinion. I concur. Even if we don't use it, we should be able to have control over it. You both are aware of my certain expertise with public opinion swaying. I'll make sure the media is on our side. Who is it? It's Livia, Mr. President. Oh, goodness. Her dark curls bounced as she... Her dark curls bounced as she crossed the room to my desk. She spoke with a slight lilt in her voice. Excuse me, Mr. President. Mr. Gallad's secretary has been calling me and wanted me to relay a message. Alright, so basically they're on the line. Ball's in our court. Would you talk to him, sir, or would you like me to? Yeah, let's let Lucian talk to him. I trust Lucian. You go ahead. Connect the line to my office. Lucian picked up. They talked on the phone. Congratulations, Mr. Caronte. Thank you for contacting me about this. We'll talk about this later. What was so important it couldn't wait? He was just elected CEO by the board of directors. He offered a partnership deal regarding his media branch. He's inviting us to his resort near Conriat for a meeting. The board has decided rather quickly. It seems that gave him the confidence to approach us again. He's going to offer a real deal, and now has the power of the conglomerate, too. The choice is up to you, Mr. President. I can set up the meeting soon. Arrange the meeting. Let's see where this goes. Because I think Did I meet with him before? I know that I had a meeting with Caronte at one point, but I don't know if it was about this or something else. I wonder if he has a pool. Okay. So it looks like we're done for the day. Good work, Marcel. Keep it up. Who the heck's Marcel? We didn't even meet with him. See you soon, gentlemen. It's weird. Alright. Okay, we're already getting the attention of key figures and potentially dangerous ones. Alright, so Marcel Caronte's thing has updated. Let's go to the codex. Do we have to go back and then hit it again, or do we need to... Hold on. Characters, corporations, HOS. So this is what did it. Yeah, elected CEO. Okay. Conrad Caronte passed away. The first and most important modern entrepreneur Swordland has ever seen has passed away. Gee, that's interesting. What with, Swordland owning Swordland today, that they think he's the most important entrepreneur ever. But yeah, his son takes over as the new CEO. So they made him the new CEO in a day. Glamorous inaugural ball. We demand these traditions of wasteful expend nature will be a thing of the past once the president settles in. Swordland's regional trade. What does Vogsland or Lesbia think about us? Historically, Agnoli and Welland have been our trading partners. Okay. We probably just want to call it there then. So we have like the infrastructure report, the railway network's antiquated. Yeah, whatever. What's going to be next? Oh, hold on. Let's do our campaign finance bill here real quick. Sign or veto the electoral campaign finance bill, which was approved by the Grand National Assembly. The criteria for the allocation of public funds shall no longer be according to the number of votes won in the general election by a political party. The new criteria will be the proportion of seats won by a political party in the assembly. Political parties shall receive an annual amount of 500,000 ren per member of the assembly. Political parties shall receive an annual amount of 500,000 ren per member of the assembly. I already said that. This results in a doubling of the USP election budget and a slight increase in the other parties in the assembly, while effectively removing all funding from parties that are below the 10% election threshold. Interesting. Well, on the one hand, the authoritarian side of me wants to let this go through because that's going to give more money to my party. On the other hand, the other parties in the assembly the parties that are not in the assembly include the communists and also the bloodish. And I think that obviously the communists would be my allies, and I probably could do it could get me some help from them, from the bloodish or whatever. I think I'm gonna veto this. Yeah, let's try to get more, because I'm gonna lose some people in my party, the conservative members, I think. Although, when does the assembly vote happen? Well, in any case, I think it'll give me points. I think like the ironic thing will be because I allow the minority parties more help. That's gonna make me more popular with them, and so they'll be more likely to vote for me. Yeah, we're just gonna veto it. We're gonna veto it. It's more leftist choice. Yeah, veto. No, not happening. All right, save, and that's it. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Conquering History Games, and wasn't there supposed to have been, like, we got the inaugural ball thing, but did we actually have the inaugural ball? Because I thought somebody got killed at the inaugural ball. Or did that get updated? Or is that later? I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you all next time. I think next time the assassination is going to happen or whatever. Or we'll see. We'll see. Take care.